come from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we value complete acceptance of who we are. In this room, we walk towards complete forgiveness. In this room, we learn. The learning never ends. And we can choose anytime we want to begin again. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, there's gold dust in the air. In this room, possibility everywhere. In this room we stand when our hearts are torn. In this room, a new way of being together is being born. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we open our hearts. In this room, we grow together. In this room, we accept one another. In this room, and we learn to love in this room. come from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we value complete acceptance of who we are. In this room, we walk towards complete forgiveness. In this room, we learn. The learning never ends. And we can choose anytime we want to begin again. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, there's gold dust in the air. In this room, possibility everywhere. In this room we stand when our hearts are torn. In this room, a new way of being together is being born. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we open our hearts in this room. in this room. We all come from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain.
Vaughn, the computer's turned this way so I can see the slides because we don't have an in-room PowerPoint today. Good morning, everybody. So a couple of things as we get started. The first of which, as I just mentioned, we have no in-room PowerPoint today. The putting together and taking apart the equipment wears and tears. And so the plug that is necessary for the Wi-Fi communication box from there to here is shredded. So there's no juice. And if there's no juice, there's no transmission. Another reason for us to hold a vision of having our own space where we don't have to be church in a box every Sunday, where the equipment is set up and stays up. What a concept. It's ours as soon as we collectively choose it. That's how consciousness works. And many of us, self-included, might have some stuff that we got to work through about the economy and blah, 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 all the noise in our brain, right? And we'll get there. So that's happening. I also want to make you aware before we get started, divine intelligence finally sparked inside my brain, and I learned how to make QR codes. So we have a QR code if you want to just give to the center using a QR code. There is one. It's on the table in the back. If you want to give to the Peace and Wellness Festival, there's a QR code. Eventually, I will have a trifold back there with QR codes for links to classes and all of that. So apparently, it's time for us to come into whatever century we're in right now. If I had known it was so simple, I would have done it a long time ago. But see, this is how consciousness works. I talked myself out of even trying because I told myself a story about how magical it was, and it must be harder than I can do. So I never even tried. And when I actually tried, it took 30 seconds. It's really not hard at all. So there's that. We have 4 community members who we're going to reach out to with cards. Miss Evelyn Templeman is gracing Howard County General Hospital with her presence. And I'm sure she's healing people as they're healing her, because that's just how Miss Evelyn rolls. Karen Brown is just got physical stuff going on, so she's probably with us online, but she's not here in person, so we're just going to send her a "we love the heck out of you" card. Jane Henderson Don Henderson's wife, her mother passed away unexpectedly this week, and so we have a card for her. Their names are at the top of each one, so you know who you're writing to. And I'm just going to circulate these around the room, and we'll collect them at the end of service so that I can get those sent off to folks. Okay. I think that's all the preliminary stuff. So, you don't have any lyrics, but you do have a memory. And I don't even care if you sing the right words. Just make a joyful noise unto something. Singing in my soul. Here we go. I will do my best to lead us. Vaughn, that's going to need to be turned up some, brother. There we go. I'm so glad somehow I've got salvation now to keep the Spirit moving in my soul. Every day I find peace and joy in mine. It keeps me singing, singing in my soul. Singing, singing in my soul. When the troubles roll, I sing from morning till night. It makes my burden light. Singing, singing in my soul. Okay, this part I know you can do. Turn around and wave at everybody online. No words required. Good morning, online people. Every now and then, something comes sneaking in. Then I steal away and I pray. Comes something through the night, comes music of delight. Keeps me singing, singing in my soul. I'm singing, singing in my soul. When the troubles roll, I sing from morning to night. It makes my burden light. I'm singing, singing in my soul. That gets repeated. I'm singing, singing in my soul. When the troubles roll, I sing from morning till night. It makes my burden light. I'm singing, singing in my soul. Close enough for government work. All right. Holy moly. It's a good thing I let go of my control issues. Frank, it's all yours, brother.
I'm just going to say I'm so thankful I'm working with somebody who doesn't have control issues. Been there, done that, and hated every second of it before. So, good morning. I'm Reverend Frank Mastoris, a member here, assistant minister serving in our community, and I'm your host. Welcome to our Sunday celebration, whether you're here in person or joining us virtually. We appreciate it, and we're glad you're here with us in spiritual community. Welcome. If you feel so up to it, please share our live stream on any social media platform that you enjoy using. If this is your first time experiencing Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, welcome. And we want you to know whoever you are, whatever spiritual path you're on, and wherever you are on the spiritual path, you are welcome and you are celebrated just as you are. Let's reaffirm who we are and what we are about. Our vision is contributing to a world that works for everyone. Sometimes that's a little tough, but we're working on it. We are a diverse community of belonging and growth, sharing the light and joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. We are a welcoming, inclusive spiritual center where everybody can be seen and heard. We lovingly practice the principles of science and mind in the world. There are some ways you can connect with us. Every morning at 6 a.m. we have, well, let me see. It's not every morning. It is every morning? Okay. Spiritually support ministry with 365 days of virtual living. It's a reading, meditation, and prayer. It's streamed daily at 6 a.m. Just for today is another time where we get together with an eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. It's Tuesday through Saturday at 10 a.m. Sleepy time meditation. For those of you who do not know, I am offering a reading, meditation, and prayer designed to guide you into sleep. The whole purpose is to get you to the place where you experience the divine in you as you. Nothing more, nothing less. Please feel free to take advantage of it. And it's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is when it starts. All live stream offerings are streamed through YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch TV. Links are accessible on the homepage for ColumbiaCSL.com website. Inclusion Ministry offering. Our monthly community town hall is Wednesday, September 24th on Zoom. We will be taking the next step in revealing our new name. Thank you, God. Okay. Outreach Ministry. We have an evening of music. Our very own musicians, Jamie Craig, Clint Hardnett, and Gary Hardnett will be joining other musicians to provide an evening of fun and mellow music Friday, September 26th at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Annapolis, located at 333 Dubois Road, Annapolis. Suggested offering is $15. Doors open at 7 p.m. Concert starts at 7:30. Is that going to be online so I can just join? Okay. And pay? Okay. I guess not. Okay. Hold on.
Remember all that.
Huh?
Where is it?
It's in the newsletter, it's in our events calendar.
It sure is. I saw it. Okay.
Okay. Light of Truth, Joy in the Journey, is a tribute to resilience, healing, and hope of every woman who has ever walked through the doors and stepped in a brighter future through recovery. You're invited to an evening of good food, fabulous music, and fun on Friday, September 26th from 7 p. to 11 p. at 3605 Coronado Road, Baltimore. Tickets are $65, and this event sells out, so get your tickets soon. All the links are in our newsletter and our website calendar. Okay. If you are aware of any local or online community events that you believe support spiritual living, please email the information to info@columbiacsl.com or text it to 410-750-8559. You can get all the details and all the information at columbiacsl.com/events. Email questions to info@columbiacsl.com and call or text our office at 410-750-8559. Okay, here we go. Are you, gods and goddesses, fabulous kings and queens of the universe, the missing link? And I'm not talking about the missing link between man and dinosaur. Okay. I'm talking about the missing link in our service. We have a ton of people who serve constantly, but there's always space on every team for one more person. There's always space. The more we share the work, and as fabulous as everybody is, the more we share the work, the easier and the lighter the load. So we have service opportunities in video tech, audio tech, welcome team, hospitality, readers, and hosts. I'm working right now on trying to get audio down. So, because Lord knows, cables go everywhere. And they plug into all kind of weird little sockets. There are just service descriptions and sign-up sheets on the table in the back. And so speaking of engagement, we come together on Sundays to celebrate life. So let's get chew it with our next community song.
Okay, before we sing, here's the thing. If you haven't played around our new website, it's a masterpiece of connection. If you click on our community, it'll take you to the different areas within our community. If you're looking for something that is outside of our immediate community, click on Outreach Ministry. All the things that are in the events calendar show up there. If you're looking for spiritual support, click on that one. All the offerings that are in the events calendar show up there. It really is a beautiful interface of stuff. We announce them on Sunday morning just to make you aware that there's lots to do. There's lots to connect with. Then you have to actually participate by following up. Everything's in the newsletter, everything's in the events calendar, and everything is cross-referenced in the website. So if you can't find it, you can still give me a call and I'll guide you to it. So we're trying to make things as available as possible. Although this morning, the lyrics to the songs, not so available. But oh well. You can sing a completely different song. You can sing out of key. Don't care. Just enjoy yourself and participate however you feel called to participate. So this one is the one we've been singing, Up Above My Head. I hear music in the air. It's pretty repetitive, so after the first time, you can just keep singing that. It'll be good. Here we go. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. I really do believe there's a heaven somewhere. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Really do believe there's some joy we share. All around this room, there's music in the air. All around this room, there's music in the air. All around this room, there's music in the air. Really do believe there's a heaven right here. All around my heart, there's music playing there. All around my heart, there's music playing there. All around my heart, there's music playing there. Really do believe there's music everywhere. Greet your neighbor. No lyrics necessary. All right, here we go. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. I really do believe there's music everywhere. Yes, I really do believe there's some joy to share. Yes, I really do believe there's a heaven right here. All right. We made it. I really do believe. So now we're moving into our spiritual practice time. And part of that is sharing demonstrations, evidence of how this stuff actually works. And we do that by checking in with our 7 core values. This week it's kindness. So how are you practicing kindness? How is kindness showing up? How is kindness evidenced in your life right now? Got Miss Rita in the back. Here comes Frank with the microphone so our online folks can hear you. Otherwise, they're like, what'd they say?
This week I went to the park and I didn't want to bring my pocketbook, so I took my license and my phone and my keys and the dog, and we went to the park, and at some point in the little journey I realized that I had lost my license. So I had looked everywhere around the house. I drove back to the park, spent a lot of time thinking about it, and then I finally just gave up, decided that it was out of my control. So we went about and had dinner, and I had this feeling to go outside and look next to the side door. And on the ledge, somebody had found my license and brought it back to me.
There you go.
That is awesome. Yes.
There you go. See, kindness doesn't even have to be performative. You can be kind, and people receive the kindness, and they don't even know who did it. Awesome. Who else? I love it. Let's ping pong it so that we see how many laps, how many steps Frank can get.
Let's work you. Is this even on? Is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to practice kindness to myself in order to practice kindness outside of myself. So I'm sitting on what is an emotional mountain of upset, and rather than deal with it, I'm being very kind and thoughtful so that when it is time to speak with the people who I'm upset with, I will do it in a way that is healthy and appropriate for everybody.
Beautiful.
So that is my practice hard this week.
Beautiful. Start with yourself so that you have kindness to give.
It's a kindness to me as a music lover to be here in this church today that, in spite of the technology, kind of flowed right into something real organic and, grounded musically. That was really nice. So it's a kindness to me, a gentle kindness to be in this room enjoying that kind of thing.
Thank you. Who else? Evidence of kindness. Going once, going twice, going to Harry.
I love it. I'm going to get my steps in today.
Well, now that Frank's had his exercise, and we kindly help you with that, Lily's daughter came over yesterday, and one of the things she did was laundry. And I do laundry a lot more the way Lily wants it done than her daughter does. So this morning I got up and finished all the laundry and washed it and dried it and brought it back upstairs, thus making everybody a lot happier. Lily, because the laundry's done the way she wants it, and Lily's daughter, who doesn't know it yet, who is not going to get a lot of grief because the laundry's already done. What more can I do?
I love it. Anybody else? Kindness.
Well, is this on?
Yes.
Okay. So I've shared stories about the neighborhood and the children and the red wagon. It appears that in the last 2 weeks, another neighbor has effectively given one of their child's toys out to the neighborhood. And it's just interesting to see this continuing.
I'm looking to see if anybody online is sharing anything so we can get their voice in the room. I'll keep looking, and
Okay.
if
I
you
have
share
one.
it, I'll get it in later.
Okay, I have
Yes.
one. Being that I work out of town and I keep coming back in, and my husband was very kind when I walked in to have dinner waiting for me. Even though it was lunchtime when I got home, dinner was ready for me. Just the simple things like that. And of course the bills too, but that's another story. Kindly put in front of me so I can deal with them and not have to go hunt around the house for them. So that's kindness to me.
All right, now we're on a roll. Look out.
We're on a roll now. I want to speak about kindness of a neighbor. I took a walk. I like to walk in nature, and I'm blessed to have my condo very near Goucher College University, which has acres and acres of wonderful land and a beautiful pond and all this kind of thing. So I was walking and actually was coming back. And I was being refreshed by nature. I can, if any troubles, whatever, kindness of nature is there too. I can just release all of any kind of feelings that I need to release. But a neighbor was coming toward me, and we had a conversation some while ago about my getting into an exercise program. And it was kindness on her part to ask me and remember and ask me how I was doing, because I'm joining a gym through a senior center, et cetera, and it's a whole new world for me, right? The gym is like, oh. So I just really thought that was really kind of her, because she was really interested in all the different things that I'm doing over there and trying to start a whole new routine. So that kindness meant a lot to me.
Beautiful. Anybody else?
I have one more. Went to the grocery store yesterday, and shockingly, there was this guy with his wife, his son, and their dog. And if you know anything about me, you know I love dogs. I bow down to dogs. I will jump on a dog and kiss him and hug him and play with him. And I said, oh, you have a service dog? And he said, no, just our dog. You can pet him if you want. And it was like, oh, I just had the best time petting the baby. And he starts barking. That's when I had to stop. But it was just so kind that he let me play with his baby. Because you don't know. It's like, you give me a dog and I melt. Okay?
Nice. Anybody else? So in summary, in a world where you can be anything, just be kind. Just be kind. If you got to choose one thing to be kind. All right. And so now it is time for the spinning of the wheel. And if we have anybody that's new that doesn't know about the wheel was a divine idea in the mind of creation to teach Rev Rafe how to let go, be in the moment, and let something bigger than him speak. Because I don't know what I'm going to talk about until I spin this wheel, and then I have to listen. And so it's like information is coming in here and coming out here, and I get to learn about it at the same time you do. So these are questions from the community, so that this is your service. Let's see where we're going today. How do I focus on my spiritual journey with so many distractions? Well, we'll find out. And so now we're going to go into our candle lighting ritual, our reading, our meditation, and prayer. So let me turn that back on for you, hon. There you go.
Our founder, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, was a dedicated study and great synthesizer, identifying the common connecting threads within the various religions, philosophies, and ancient wisdom teachings of the world. Science of Mind is a synthesis of Ernest Holmes' lifetime of study. Let us breathe together as we light a candle honoring some of these faith traditions. As we light the first candle, we honor Christianity as a path of love and forgiveness. As we light the second candle, we honor Buddhism as a path of compassion and Four Noble Truths. As we light the third candle, we honor Judaism as a path of ethical living through sacred law. As we light the fourth candle, we honor Baha'i as a path of unity and peace. As we light The fifth candle, we honor Islam as a path of surrendering to the will of God as the highest calling. As we light the sixth candle, we honor Confucianism as a path of deliberate tradition. As we light the seventh candle, we honor Taoism as a path of harmony and balance. As we light the eighth candle, we honor all indigenous peoples, traditions as paths that recognize and honor spirit in all of creation. As we light the ninth candle, we honor Shintoism as a path of optimism and the inherent goodness of humanity. As we light the 10th candle, we honor Hinduism as a path of knowledge, action, and devotion. As we light the 11th candle, we honor Akan as a path that honors the divine ancestors and nature. As we light the 12th candle, we honor all new thought philosophies as a path of adherence to universal spiritual principles of love and law. And as we light this final candle, we honor the multiplicity and diversity within the wholeness of creation as sacred. Namaste, and so it is. Today's sacred reading is Growing Pains, The Price of My Negligence by Abraham Ofori Henaku. Reflecting on my life's path as a young writer from Ghana, I realized that there are no rights without responsibilities. Back when I was a kid living out my prepubescent years with no worries about responsibilities whatsoever, I had every excuse to enjoy the bliss of ignorance. Shamelessly, I carried on with this complacent sense of entitlement throughout my post-pubescent and early adult years. So much so, in fact, that I rarely concerned myself with reality and the consequences of my irresponsibility. Only later did I come to learn the truth that the late U.S. Senator Louis Schwellenbach once put in perspective. Every right has its responsibilities. Like the right itself, these responsibilities stem from no man-made law, but from the very nature of man and society. The security, progress, welfare of one group are measured finally in the security, progress, and welfare of all mankind. In making sense of these words, I began to realize how detrimental it is to enjoy rights without responsibilities. I asked myself, how can we preserve our rights without responsibilities? If we don't fulfill our responsibilities, how can we sustain the privileges that come with the rights we enjoy? And in particular, how do we ensure the perpetuation of bioculture diversity in all its rich elements without responsibility? Quote, a privileged life can blind us to reality, unquote. Take a moment to vulnerably ask yourself, has there been any time in my life when my privileges, race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, class, or socioeconomic status afforded me an advantage over others, or made me ignorant of my environment and the people deprived of the kind of privilege I enjoyed? To put it simply, has your privileged life created a reality so different from the real world that you felt unaffected by and thus behaved nonchalantly about what's going on with our environments, marginalized groups, bad governance, and so on? If you nodded yes to any of these questions, then this is your wake-up call. We must realize the damage that our ignorance, packaged as rights, has done and is doing to all of us, and the one cost that we are discounting: responsibility.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find God, I find
In the silence, there is peace. freedom from the conflicts of life, the ever expression of love. In this moment, in the silence, I am free. Free of all conflict, free of all confusion, free of all pain. I'm a choice to live a life of love. I'm a choice to live a life of peace. I am a choice to live a life of joy. There is one power so powerful that is everywhere present. It expresses within, throughout, and about everyone. It's in the air, in the gentle winds, and in the powerful storms. It's in the trees coming from as we move into the fall, the changing of the colors of the leaves to the regrowth in the spring. It's in the ground, green grass to yellow grass. It's in the temperature from hot temperatures to cool temperatures. It is everywhere present, including in and as each of us. I call that thing God, for lack of a better term. We're it. We are expressed from this thing. We are loved from this thing. We are the essence of love itself, as us. And knowing that this is our truth, we cannot help but express that love to everyone, to everything, to one great, powerful experience of life. This service is perfect. It's just perfect the way it is. It's perfect in all the good. It's perfect because everyone here is the good. Everyone who's not here is the good. Everyone who's online is the good. The entire world, regardless of their appearance, is the good. It's all good. And I am so grateful for the good. I am grateful for the life that I live, for the life that every one of you live, for the life of my family and my friends, the life of the world itself. And I release this knowing it's done in mind and in form. And so it is.
All right. This song kind of dovetails into Mindy's talk there about, being aware of everything that goes into the gumbo in the present moment. It's called Gravity. Gravity is working against me. And gravity wants to bring me down. Oh, I never know What makes this man with all the love that his heart can stand dream of ways to throw it all away? Whoa, whoa, gravity is working against me. And gravity wants to bring me down. Oh, twice as much ain't twice as good, and can't sustain like one half could. It's wanting more, it's gonna send me to my knees. Oh, twice as much ain't twice as good, and can't sustain like one half could. It's wanting more, it's gonna send me to my knees. Keep me where your light is, baby, keep me where your light is. Infinite, keep me where your light is. Keep me where the light is. Keep me where your light is. Just keep me where the light is. Keep me where your light is. Keep me where the light is.
Chuckling with the idea that how do I focus on my spiritual journey with so many distractions, as I'm having an experience that perhaps the distractions are the spiritual journey. Thank you, online folks, for communicating that there was an annoyingly loud hiss. We did everything we could on the soundboard, and then I was walking back to my chair, and I realized that I was hearing this fan in the room, and so I unplugged it, and the reports are the hiss went away. So there we go. When buildings are not wired by sound engineers, you get these lovely things called ground fault 40 megahertz hums, and fans seem to like to create those. So there you go. That's going on. That's what all the was over here, trying to get it all squared away. Let's take a breath. The reciprocity of, what did I say? I have it in my head, but then there's those distractions. And we just get to live into them. How cool is that? The reciprocity of privilege and accountability. In the reading this morning, I just Google. I consult the gospel according to Google for lots of things. And this article came up by this beautiful young Kenya, from Ghana, South Africa, man. And it's way more involved than this excerpt. And I caught myself realizing that if someone who has been so systemically oppressed grasp this idea of privilege demanding responsibility, perhaps the rest of us can at least get a clue. At least just begin to scratch the surface. The Bible talks about it, unto whom much is given, much is required. It's not a new concept. It's really not. But it's a concept of convenience. Right? Privilege is literally that place where you don't have to think about something unless you choose to. You don't have to. Right? When you have electricity flowing through your house, you don't have to think about whether or not you're going to have a light when you flip the switch. In fact, it probably doesn't even go through your head. You just flip the switch. But you don't have to think, when I do this, are the lights going to come on? That's privilege. Right? We've twisted up the concept of privilege to the point where we've made it repulsive. All of us have privilege. You have the privilege of breathing. Were you aware of that? That the very breath in your body is a privilege. Imagine if creation charged you by the breath. Could you afford to breathe? If you had to do a reaffirmation of need every month, would you remember to fill out the paperwork so you could keep breathing? I don't know that I would, until all of a sudden I wasn't breathing, and then it would be something that mattered. Privilege is those areas that we take for granted. Not by intention, not by design, not by maliciousness, but by privilege. Because we have the privilege to take it for granted. Right? But we've turned it into this thing, we've weaponized privilege at one another. Right? I've been doing diversity, equity, and inclusion work my entire life. And we used to actually have conversations. And now we've descended into this realm of the oppressed will oppress the oppressor until oppression stops. Good luck with that. We've just changed the flavor of oppression and called it self-righteousness. And it's a convenience. Because if I'm focused on everything that's wrong, I am creating a privilege to ignore my own behavior. Ouch. Right? We don't look at our self-righteousness as a privilege for which we get to be accountable. We get to be. So what is this thing of accountability? Right? In line with our theme of the 12 steps and 12 traditions, this week we're launching into the 9th tradition. Every group or the program or the institution or the organization or the community ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. Now, sometimes we take that ought never be organized to a problematic level. That is not a mandate to live in chaos. That's not what that's talking about. It's talking about scripted. It's talking about, so let's bring it home to right here. Our Center for Spiritual Living ought never be organized. It is not my job to tell you what to think. It is my job to teach you how to think. It is my job to engage in curiosity with you, to learn what you think. Because you may have newness for me. I am not. I've said this before. I will keep saying it until I cannot say it again. If I am the greatest authority you have, the situation is already way worse than you thought. I am not the authority on anything. At once I was delusional enough to think that I was actually the authority on me until I started experiencing the outcomes of my authoritarian thinking about me, and that didn't even work. It just doesn't, because that authoritarian certainty renders us no longer teachable. See, once I think I have the answer, I stop learning. How is that appropriate for an infinite being? How is that ever appropriate to stop learning for a being that is made out of infinite possibility? Right? Did suddenly infinite possibility run out of possibility? Did the whole concept of infinite just cease to exist now? Because when I think I have arrived at the final answer, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing else to learn. I have arrived. Okay, dude. That's my internal dialogue. When I hear myself even getting close, there's a little person in there that goes, okay, dude, it's your delusion. Eventually, something's going to wake you up. And it does. Right? What wakes me up is the evidence of my thinking reflected back to me. Anybody else experience that? Right? All of a sudden, there's your life staring back at you. And most of us, instead of accountability, what do? We got to blame somebody for this. Right? Somebody else did this. I'm going to be really transparent this morning. I laugh. I literally laugh when I watch intelligent people ranting and raving about one individual who lives in a temporary house in our nation's capital, as if one person walked in there, assigned themselves to a position, and then did a bunch of stuff to everybody. That's not how it works, folks. Whether we like it or not, we still live in a democracy. We still vote. And a whole lot of people voted. The evidence that lives on Pennsylvania Avenue is the evidence of the collective consciousness of this country. Now, you can not want to wrap your head around that. You can stay in the privilege of ignoring that. Blaming one person is privilege, and it is an intentional privilege of ignorance that sidesteps taking any responsibility. This is not a fun topic. It's a real topic. And there are consequences. When we talk about the reciprocal relationship between privilege and accountability, it's called consequences. Right? If I get in my vehicle and I go down the road and I see 55 miles per hour, and my foot says 65 miles per hour, I should not be surprised if I encounter the consequence of a ticket. And it doesn't matter how many people were going the same speed. You like that one? Don't we all go there? Well, everybody else was going 65. How come they didn't catch everybody else? Because it was your turn. Some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug. It was your turn. That doesn't change the reality that you chose to go 65. Fully informed of the consequences, you made a choice. And yet somehow we manufacture this idea of privilege that we should be the exception. And then we blame the law enforcement officer. We blame other people for not getting caught. That's always been a weird one for me. How is it their fault that you got caught because they didn't get caught, as if somehow all of you couldn't have gotten caught? If somebody else, if anybody else had gotten caught, I would not have. Really? I know we do it because I do it. We're not all that different from each other. Right? Perhaps our spiritual practice, our spiritual journey is all of the distractions. Perhaps it's about getting out of ignoring them and standing right in the middle of them and owning how we distract ourselves. Perhaps until we do that, we're really not on a spiritual journey so much as we're on a spiritual avoidance journey. I ain't judging, I'm just saying. And trust me, when I'm not just saying I'm judging, I'll tell you. I own it. Right? We have within us the clarity of consciousness itself. If we choose it, when we choose it, we know exactly what is ours to do. It's not a matter of will we know it, it's a matter of will we acknowledge that we know it. Will we, because that bridge between privilege and accountability is responsibility. The first time I realized how much of a trigger word that was, I was teaching a Science of Mind class. And apparently I use that word frequently. And one of the students in the class he's about to use the R word now. Apparently the F-bomb is easier for folks than the R word. Nobody wants to hear responsibility because we've made it a death trap rather than a bridge. What if responsibility is simply acknowledging your divine ability to respond? What if you reframe it? Because see, most of us, we hear the R word and we hear fault. Right? Instead of who's responsible, we hear whose fault is it? Well, you're responsible for that. We hear, that's my fault. We hear blame. We hear shame. And we respond with defensiveness. What if responsibility is simply owning that you are infinite intelligence and form? And so everything that you need, all the clarity that you need to know how to divinely, appropriately, perfectly respond to every situation and circumstance is already 100% fully present in, through, and as you. What if you knew that? Because it is. That's the makeup of your being. It's not available to you by telegram. You don't need a 5G network to tap into it. You know what we need in order to hear it, to feel it, to sense it? We need to shut up. We need to shut up. I was talking with somebody the other day, and they're going through a lot in life. A lot. And it's a metaphysician, and we both know with absolute certainty there's no God outside of ourselves. And we both are very much aware that sometimes it's helpful to contextualize it that way when we're deep in our humanity. And they made the comment, they imagined finally getting to that place where they're just like, okay, fine. I got nothing left. I surrender. And imagining this anthropomorphized being of God going, finally, now it's my turn. Right? Because sometimes that's the way it is. You know, the infinite is screaming at us, and it just needs us to shut up long enough for it to be heard. Finally, we run out of stuff. Then we can hear. That's why we do the meditation that we do in here every Sunday. In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspoken joy. That's where we find ourself, the essence of ourself, the clarity of ourself, the accountability. Because what we think we need to do to be accountable in this world may not be what is our spiritual accountability. But if we don't quiet ourselves, if we don't ask with sincerity, we will never know. So I invite you, spend some time exploring. Where do you have privilege? Not from a punitive standpoint, but from an awakening standpoint. Where are the areas where privilege might be giving you permission to not be aware, to actively be unaware? If there's only one of us here, you're ignoring yourself. Right? When you turn away from somebody else's pain, you're abandoning yourself. When you don't care what happens to a group of people, you don't care about yourself. Either there's no separation or there is. You cannot have it both ways. You can't. And if you're living in separation, if you're choosing that, great. You have every right to do that. Right? There's no condemnation. Creation didn't give us the power of choice and decide to punish us for it. Groups of people made that up. They made it up. And I will end with this. By all that made up stuff, this is the big gun. This is the deep spiritual guidance I have as a minister. You ready? Let that shit go. Let it go. Quit fighting with the lie. Right? If you took 30 seconds and actually envisioned put characters to the mental wrestling match you have, make that like an MMA experience for yourself, where you're actually watching the different things wrestle. You'll be so amused, you'll be like, oh, I cannot know. And then imagine everywhere you go, people can see the wrestling match. Because they can. They see the outpicturing of it. You see the outpicturing by other people's wrestling matches. What if we actually, with a little bit of humor, embrace the ridiculousness of the wrestling match and just let go of the thing we're fighting against? It has to leave. If you stop engaging it, it stops being present in you. That's why we say you cannot heal something that you're against. You just keep it engaged. It can't leave. Right? Everywhere I go, there it is. But the minute I stop, whoosh, off it goes. Let it go. You deserve to be free. The reciprocity, the full circle, is your freedom. And we're going to talk about that even more next week. How to actually do it. How do you focus? Start with the distractions. Instead of trying to avoid them, which just empowers them, start with the distractions. They might be there to save you. It just might be. It might be your unwillingness to hear that feels like a distraction. Perhaps it kind of, sort of, maybe in some of us could play out that way. Maybe. I'm just saying. It could. Let's take this to prayer. There is only one. It is indefinable and yet completely knowable. Known as the essence of all life. Experienced as the essence, as the substance expressing itself as all life. The seen and the unseen, the formed and the unformed. Everywhere, every minute, every breath, every thought, every action, everything, and everything in between is this one. And so I know that I must be it in form. And what is true of me must be true of all life in the truth of one. And so I claim and affirm for the individualized expression of life as me and as all life, that we are awakening to the courageous journey of accountability. That we are awakening to a desire within to be whole, to pull together all of the fragments into a wholeness, accessing that perfect ability within to respond in spiritual love to every situation, to every expression of life. And as we do, all life is healed. Everything unlike it, wrapped in love, transformed. Wholeness expressed. One breath, one thought, one heart, one life, one activity at a time. Being fully present now and allowing the activity of law to move it in its perfect cycle of reciprocity. And so knowing that is the activity of law, that it simply makes everything work, I can let go. Because I know it's already done. Before I even see it, I
know it is already done. So I let go. I let it be. And I invite you to join me in owning it as we say together. And so it is. Namaste. All right, Mr. Frank, I'm going to turn it back over to you. Right there, the red tab.
Thank you, Reverend Ray, for everything. I'd like to invite Clint to come and get set up as we move into our time of conscious giving. There are several ways to give. You can text the word GIVE to 410-498-6175. You can mail a check to 659 Cog Court, Millersville, Maryland, 2118. You can access the giving portal on our website, columbiacsl.com/donate. Once accessed, you can give a one-time gift or set up a recurring gift. If you have any challenges, please reach out to Reverend Rafe, since I don't have any access to that. Hey, we have QR codes now. Okay. Now, if you repeat after me, we're going to do our affirmation. I'm going to go through it once, and then I'd like you to follow me. I affirm that the abundance of creation is my abundance. I give freely as creation gives to me. I give through this Center for Spiritual Living to ensure its continued availability to all spiritual seekers. If someone would please come up and take the baskets, it would be appreciated. So, okay. Thank you, Dell. Thank you, Laura. So, let's do this together slowly. I affirm that the abundance of creation is my abundance. I give freely as creation gives to me. I give through this Center for Spiritual Living to ensure its continued availability to all spiritual seekers.
Its continued availability to all spiritual seekers.
Amen.
All right. How we doing? Cool. I'd like to do something. I'd like to take a traditional song and infuse what Frank Herbert coined as traditional forms with lyrics of the Enlightenment. So this is my attempt at infusing that type of mantra into a traditional tune. So I was talking to Rev Rafe. I think what we're going to do is go through 2 verses and then a chorus, and then we'll do the whole thing together. Can we do that? Is that okay? Okay. This is I Fly Away. Slight return. So I'm going to say, one glad day, when this life is over, I'll fly away to my home on infinite shores. I'll fly away. We'll do that. One glad day, when this life is over, I'll fly away to my home on infinite shores. I'll fly away. And the chorus, I'll fly away meditatively. Oh, I'll fly away. When I die, I'll be a rainbow-like body. I'll fly away. I'll fly away meditatively. I'll fly away. When I die, I'll be a rainbow-like body. I'll fly away. All right, last one here. Just a few more. What's the word I'm looking for? Delightful days of life. Yeah, just a few more delightful days of life. That's it. And I'll fly away to that land where joys will never end and thrive. I'll fly away. Here we go. Just a few more joyful days of life, and I'll fly away to that land where joys will never end and thrive. I'll fly away. I'll fly away meditatively. I'll fly away in the sunshine. How about that part? In the sunshine. When I die, I'll be a rainbow light body. I'll fly away. All right, here we go. All together now. Some glad day when this life is over, I'll fly away to my home on the infinite shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away meditatively. I'll fly away in the sunshine. When I die, I'll be a rainbow light body. I'll fly away. Yeah. Just a few more delightful days of life. Now I'll fly away to that land where joy will never end and thrive. I'll fly away. I'll fly away meditatively. I'll fly away in the sunshine. When I die, I'll be a rainbow light body. I'll fly away. I'll fly away. I'll fly away. Thank you.
It gives me a lot of joy when I see Reverend Phil and Clint do this with each other. Makes me crack up. Okay, so I want to acknowledge everybody who gave, and everybody who's given online, everybody who's given here, and I'm grateful. This will help keep us sharing our message across the globe. And I am so grateful knowing the truth that we live in a state of complete abundance regardless of the appearances. We are that abundance. Everything we are is God expressed. And this includes money. Period. It's all us. Every single one of us, and those who are not here, and those who are online, and those who are living in the world, and everybody. We're all abundance. We're all one. It's all us. And I'm so grateful. And I release this knowing it's done in mind and form, and so it is. So, let us just be thankful for all the people. I want to thank everybody. Mindy, who was our hospitality team member today, and I believe our reader. Our welcome team, Ebony English, yay! Our musicians, Clint Hardnett and Reverend Rafe, yay! Our video and live stream team, Jesse Dabbs, yay! Our audio team, Vaughn Dabbs. And personal thank you, Vaughn, for helping me. Oh, and Zita. Zita, blessing Zita, thank you. And personal thank you, Vaughn, for helping me to slowly learn the process without being overwhelmed. And Reverend Ray. Online engagement, our goddess queen, Miss Deborah Ellis. Thank you, Gail and Laura, for ushering. Reverend Rafe for his sharing of his message. Knowing the truth that we are all one. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I will share this. Do you remember the song that I asked you to find for yourself? You're singing it to yourself, and you're singing it to everybody else in this room, the love song that I asked you to find for yourself. Think about that. Your love song is singing to the world.
Realize I'm slide dependent. So let's see if I can find it. You're good, Ebony. I can see right past you. It's just, can I see that far? That's the issue. Okay. So let's do our weekly affirmation, which we did not do. So you have no choice but to let me read it to you because you can't see it. It's an easy one. I am accountable to life through service. I am accountable to life through service. That too will be in your newsletter. All right. So we have a couple of things. If you're a guest here, we deeply ask you to fill one of these out. A couple of folks filled those out, and I was able to get your information caught up last week. Thank you. And somebody decided to send us that, just a note through Messenger on our Facebook page. You can do that. We just want to have accurate information so that we can communicate with you. So that is one way to do that. We have the community feedback forms in the back. We also have those available in the newsletter. You can sign up for the newsletter on any form. You can send me an email that says sign me up. You can also scroll all the way down to the bottom of any page on our website, and there's a little thing that allows you to sign up for the newsletter on the website. So please avail yourself of that. Visioning is happening, I believe, this Thursday. Is that correct? Yes, this Thursday. If you are interested in participating in that, reach out to our First Lady, Deborah Ellis. Her email is deborah.aslove@gmail.com. Reach out to her, and she will get you connected with that process. Peace and Wellness Festival. It's happening. Thank everybody who got engaged with that, with last week's announcement. Now we just need to keep our foot on the gas and keep the engagement going. Please look for stuff on the newsletter about how you can serve, how you can give, because it is a fundraiser, and the more we give, the more funds we raise. It's really that simple. Yeah, I'm not going to complicate a toothpick. It really is that simple. Yes?
So we had a board meeting and we're going to take advantage of our tape. This is supposed to be here. All right. We're going to take advantage of being at the Peace and Wellness Festival. So we are going to have books for sale. So this is your chance if your library has outgrown you and or maybe you have double copy of any book spiritually related. You could bring it to church on Sunday, October 5th, because I won't be here next weekend. And I'll be glad to transport them on the 11th. So there's your chance. I hope we get a response and you'll be contributing to keeping us alive here.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, anybody else have anything that I have forgotten? I do want to thank Frank for being both our practitioner and our host this morning. Thank you. Two things to share from our online people. Karen shared in the chat that she practiced kindness with someone in the ER that made a significant faux pas, and so she actually dealt with that with this person in kindness. Good on you, Miss Karen. And Chris received kindness from two neighbors that brought her food and supplies while she is recovering from COVID. So Kindness is active, not just here in the room. Imagine that. There was kindness out in the community, and Chris is in California. So kindness, look, it's everywhere. Check it out. All right. So I think that's it. Let's stand, and this one we all know. How can I serve? Right? And really, I really encourage you, pay attention to these words, especially the refrain in each verse. Where you lead, I will follow. Where you lead, I will go. Just know that every time you sing that, the universe says, cool, have I got stuff for you. Jamie and the band will be with us next week. Yeah. All right. Here we go. How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How must I share today, sweet spirit? How must I share today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. A fabulous week. I love you.
Living Spirit, I am grateful. Loving Spirit, I am free. So many gifts upon my table. Loving kindnesses to me. Living Spirit, I am grateful, loving Spirit, for the way, for this rich, abundant living every single day. And I give thanks for the knowing. I give thanks for the way your love is am grateful. Loving Spirit, I am free. So many gifts upon my table. Loving kindness says to me, living Spirit, I am grateful. Loving Spirit, for the way, for this rich, abundant